Hey y'all, it's Angel, your best friend who happens to be a therapist. I still can't believe they talked me into doing a podcast, but here I am and here we go. I'm not gonna lie to you, we gonna talk about everything. Nothing's off limits, the good, bad, and the ugly. So put your seatbelt on and enjoy the ride. Hey y'all, so I don't really want this show to be about therapy per se. However, I do feel as a clinician, as a licensed clinician, I kind of have the duty to talk about what therapy is. So I'm going to do it my way, and I'm not going to lie to you. I say therapy is a place where change lives. This is where you come to change. This is where you come to accept change. You know, that thing that happened in your life that you have no control over. Yeah, this is the place where you come to learn how to accept it, work it in your life, work some of it in, work some of it out, whatever works for you, right? So it's kind of like the Amazon of change. Any type of change you want, we got it. However, one thing I need you to know for sure is that the therapist isn't the one doing the changing. It's you. So knowing that, you gotta make sure before you go to therapy that you are ready. You gotta be ready for it. What does ready look like? Ready is being open, being honest, right? Honest is a big thing. Y'all know we know when y'all lying sometimes, right? Not all the time, but sometimes we know. And we purposefully don't point it out because that would do more harm than good in that moment. And our whole goal as a clinician is to evoke change, to help you be the change that you wish to see. That is our goal, right? So, other ways you know when you are ready for therapy. What do we say? Open, honest, and gotta be a little aware, right? So the first stage of change is pre-contemplation. And that really means that person don't even know that they need change or that change is coming or change is here and they're having a hard time dealing with it, right? So those are the people that are clueless, have no idea. They don't know. So those are the people that end up in therapy involuntarily. They're not really there with the goal to change something or accept change, right? They're there because somebody told them they gotta be. Something's going on and you have to go. Curiosity is another good way to know. If you're curious to know what's kind of on the other side of how you're feeling, right? So that's also another good way to know. Another thing you need for therapy to work for you, this is the most important aspect, if you ask me, in my humble opinion. It's also scientifically the highest indicator of success rates in therapy, which is what we call the therapeutic relationship. What does that really mean? It means partnership. You and your therapist should be partners, right? So close your eyes and imagine this. You're in a car and you are the driver. The clinician is in the passenger seat looking at the map. They telling you, let's explore these options that you got. And you as the driver are making that decision and making that left or that right, going straight ahead, reversing, making a U-turn. We're just in the passenger seat like, okay, well, we made that turn. Now what options we got? So that is really what is needed. Now what happens if this partnership is not quite gelling, right? What do? You fire us. That's what you do. You fire the clinician because therapy is about you and your change, not about the clinicians, right? And guess what? You're not gonna hurt our feelings. Now, if they're a new clinician, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was, because I've been fired plenty of times, right? And it's not personal, and we know that. It's not gonna hurt our feelings. We know, it has to be a good fit. And it also has to be a good fit for the therapist. There have been times where I have fired clients. We fire clients for different reasons, like your unwillingness to change. I'm not in the business of sitting here and doing talk therapy and talking it out and no progress is being made. That's not my style. If I give you therapeutic homework and you never do your homework is practice, right? So if you're in therapy and you're getting tools, then you're learning tools to go use and implement and see what works for you, and you're not doing that implementation part, then this is not a good fit. I'm definitely not a good fit for you, right? So then I will fire you. So I'm letting you know, it's okay to fire your therapist, and you can fire them at any time, right? Because relationships change, partnerships change. So if it has gotten to a place where, you've gotten as far as you can go, it's okay. It is okay. Do not be afraid to fire your therapist. Please don't be afraid to do that if it is not working. Advocate for yourself because you're here to get your needs and wants met. Now, of course, that comes with some caveats, right? You cannot, if you are unwilling and resistant to change, that's gonna look like it's not working, right? So check yourself and ask yourself, am I the one that ain't doing the work? Or is this relationship and partnership just really not working for me and what I need right now? And you have to be honest with yourself enough to answer that question before you decide to fire your therapist, okay? That's why at An Angel's Touch, we do a 15-minute consult, a free consult, so that you and the therapist can talk about what the issues are, and if you both decide to move forward, because it really does truly have to be a good fit. And once you find that right fit, you will know, right? You'll know because you will see changes in you, right? The changes that you wanted to see. You'll see your reactions might be a little different. You see your thought patterns might be a little different. Let's say when you came in, you were a negative Nancy, right? And then after a couple of months, you don't really find yourself going to the negatives, that glass half empty all the time, and you're starting to see some positives somewhere, right? Another way if it is helping, if you change your language, because those thoughts come out in language. People just kind of don't pay attention to it all the time. And it's, some people a little more subtle, some people aren't. But that's just something that a therapist is trained to listen for, right? A change in language. And you will also see some accomplishments. You will actually see some, you accomplishing a goal. So that is how you will know. And others will say, oh, you ain't go off. Or, oh, you handled that differently. Who are you? What's your name again? Those are compliments. They might come out in a little bit of sass, but they're compliments. Take it, right? Change is hard. You know why? Because it requires you to be uncomfortable. No one has made significant change in their life comfortably. Nobody, not possible. It don't happen. And if you can think of a way that significant change has occurred without any discomfort, please let me know. Okay? I'm definitely open, always open to learning more. So if you can think of a way that happens, great, let me know. But until then, Change don't happen, okay, without discomfort. So that's why we have therapy, to help you navigate change with support in a safe place, with grace, and you get the tools, right, to learn how to navigate that change. So let me take a few minutes to give you some commonly used tools to navigate change, right, which is coping skills. You go over and you learn coping skills. What are coping skills? Ways to adjust. You learn ways to adjust, and that looks different for everybody, right? Self-soothing is a coping mechanism for sure. Taking a minute, I call it 3 and 3. 3 seconds in, breathe in through your nose. 3 seconds out, pushing out through your mouth 3 times, right? Do it, try it. It feels silly at first, but let me tell you, it works. It works so good to a point where people starting to not give a shit that it looks silly because they know it's gonna work. Try to private if you're a little shy and you don't want to look silly at first, but just try it. Journaling is awesome. Not only is it a way for you to express and get those feelings and emotions and thoughts out, but it is also a way to track your change in black and white. Yeah. Some of you will have to put that journal and lock and key with, maybe in a safe with a handprint, whatever you got to do to make you feel safe. They're having this, this journal, but journaling can be a real good tool to use when navigating change for sure. Another thing you learn how to do in therapy is to identify triggers. What are triggers? Trigger is that thing that happens that can set your ass off and you have no idea why. This is a place where you learn, oh, that's a trigger and that's why I went off like that. How to avoid them, how to manage them as they arise. One thing, I'll give you an example. If you are a recovering addict or you know one, oftentimes money is a common trigger. Cash money is a common trigger because, drug dealers don't usually take Zelle and BMO, so, it's usually a cash-only business. So, that cash is oftentimes a trigger and makes them want to go use or brings that memory back or that feeling back. Another important thing in therapy you learn how to improve and increase your awareness. Improving and increasing your awareness will be helpful to you in so many ways. If you're gonna, you increase the awareness of yourself and how you respond and those around you, and you get to start saying, oh wow, why is that person still in my circle? Why isn't that person in my circle? I need more of that. I need less of that. That is what therapy is. And I'm not gonna lie to you, change is hard. So, get into therapy, get some support with it, get some tools so that you can be the change that you wish to see. We need more of that out in this world. So, it's been real. Have a good one. Talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to I'm Not Gonna Lie to You podcast. Subscribe for more insightful and down-to-earth content. And don't forget to follow us on social media at An Angel's Touch 8 on Instagram and An Angel's Touch Therapy on Facebook.